Good morning, everybody. I am Prabramachar, lecturer in English, Puc College. Let me welcome you for first year PUC. We are going to meet in a face-to-face context in a few days, but this happens to be a distant education mode. I am presenting you online English teaching lesson. First year English teaching program will be like this. Usually in a face-to-face context, in the very first class itself, teachers and the students, they introduce each other, and that will be a very good opportunity for learning language. Usually for language teaching, English language teaching, we need a face-to-face context. Without a face-to-face contact, interaction is very difficult for us. But because of circumstances, we are forced to offer online teaching class and motivate you. But however, it's not going to be that difficult to follow the lessons that we are going to present, provided you have interest, willpower, right? Even distant mode lessons can also be effectively learned. This year, for English teaching program, you have two books, a workbook and a course book. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you can speak English very fluently? Why I am asking this question is, you have started learning English from first standard itself. For English medium students, perhaps we can see two streams of students in PUC classes. Two streams means students who come from Kannada medium, students who come from English medium. So, two streams of students we see usually in the PU class. For English medium students, they have learned English for 10 years, right from first standard, let us say, living in preschool education, from first standard to 10th standard. They have learned English for 10 years. 10 years of English exposure they have. So, those students who have studied in English medium schools, they don't find any difficulty in understanding the lessons, listening, understanding, reading, understanding, expressing and writing. You know, when we say language learning and language teaching, it involves 4 types of skills. Speaking, first listening, speaking, reading and writing. We cannot forget these 4 skills. What way language teaching is different from other subjects? What makes English different from other subjects? You know, in language classes, for us, the matter is not important, content is not important, language is important. Language is a vehicle of thought. We give importance to language. We practice skills. It's not a content matter that is very important. How we master these skills, how we use these skills, that's very important in language learning. Vehicle of thought. when I say vehicle of thought, without language, you cannot learn any subject at all. It's a means to learn other subjects. If we can use language very effectively, if you know the language and its different aspects, you can perform very well. Your communication will be very effective and you can be a very efficient communicator. So we give importance to language. You should remember, when you attend a language class, your focus should be on practicing these skills. In each English language class, we will focus on all the 4 skills. We give opportunity to listen, to speak, to read and write. So, we must not forget these aims of language teaching. These are called aims of language teaching, objectives of language teaching. If you are very proficient in using these skills, you are a very good language user. I say, language is a vehicle of thought. So without language, we cannot express our feelings, our thoughts. So if you want to be an effective user of language, you must be very proficient in these skills. So, come to this point. English medium students, they don't have any difficulty in understanding English lessons. Whereas Kannada medium students, they start learning English from 5th standard. So they have got 5 years of English exposure. They have listened to English classes for 5 years. They may have some difficulty, little difficulty in understanding the language. What is very important for us is speaking skills. Speech is the foundation of language. Speech is very important. Most of you people, you fail to communicate in English. Even after 5 years of English and 10 years of English, in the case of English medium students, when it comes to classroom interaction, when we ask some questions, when we ask you to interact with students, interact among yourself, interact with teacher, you find it very difficult, you hesitate to communicate in English. What is the difficulty? Speech is the foundation of any language. You take any language, not only English, whether it's Kannada, Telugu or any other language. Speech comes first. Speech comes first. Then come literary skills like reading and writing. They are secondary. First thing is oral skills. We call them oral skills. Listening and speaking. Listening and speaking. And reading and writing. They are secondary. They are literary skills. So, speech is given a lot of importance. Speech is primary. We should give attention to this speech. But in the case of Kannada regional medium students, they may have a little difficulty in expressing themselves. So this comes out of practice. What is very important is practice. So practice makes you perfect. Because you have not been used to speaking in English, you find it very difficult. So in PU classes, we insist on speaking in English. It's very important, speaking in English. You must, in English classes, even in other classes also. As far as you stay in college campus premises, you must try to. This is an opportunity. You don't find this opportunity outside the classroom. Because we live in a non-native context. Because You don't find English speaking atmosphere outside the classroom. Only in college campuses we see English speaking atmosphere. That's why we insist students to use English, which is the easiest way to learn language. Easiest way. The most easiest way to learn any language is to use the language. Using. If you start using the language itself is a habit. Language is itself a behavior, habit. How do you get these habits? Out of practice. It becomes a habit. If you go on speaking English, in English, it becomes a habit. So, you don't have any difficulty in practicing this skill. Let me give an example. You see, in an SSLC class or in high school class, a teacher has given an assignment. See, very popular assignment. You know, write a letter to your father. Letter writing, an exercise. Because the teacher wants to test his written skill. His objective is to know how far he has mastered English, written English. So he gives an assignment. Write a letter to your father, requesting him to send you ₹1,000 for your educational excursion. Imagine, usually such questions are asked in high school classes while doing assignment. So a written exercise assignment is given. Imagine you are going on a tour, write a letter to your father requesting him to send ₹1,000. You see what the student has written. This is a sample of letter we get. Students who have been exposed to 10 years of English language and 5 years of English language. So they come out with this kind of letter. They start the letter addressing the father. Dear father, the teacher has taught already how to write a letter, and the student starts writing. He writes the date, address, salutation, and the first paragraph, he starts like this. Dear father, I am in the well. Look at the expression. I am in the well. First sentence. The second sentence. You are also in the well. Look at the third sentence. I will pass away this year. I will certainly pass away this year. And certainly this year. This is the sample. Like this. He continues at the end. He writes, your affectionate son. And now, those who have passed 10th standard, completed high school English course, you know how far these sentences are correct. Are they correct? What is wrong with these sentences? This is the kind of, why I am giving this example is, this is the kind of writing, the expressions we get from students. This is a sample. What is wrong with this? What has come from? Look at this expression. I am in the well. You know, the word well is used as a noun and also as an adjective. Here, the boy wants to say, I am well, I'm okay, I'm alright. ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನು ನೌನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. I am well. You know the meaning. ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ವೆಲ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ವೆಲ್. ನಾನು ಬಾವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ವೆಲ್ ನೌನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆದಾಗ. ಎರಡನೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇವ್ರು ಬಾವಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಥರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬಂತು. ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ದಿ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. ನಾವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಂದೆ ಫಾದರ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನೀವು ಬಾವಿಯೊಳಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಲ್. ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಲ್ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಮೂರನೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ? ಐ ವಿಲ್, ನಾನು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ. ತಂದೆಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅವನು ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗೂ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ. ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ ಅನ್ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡೈ ಅಂತ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಅವೇ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ತಂದೆ? ನಾನು ಖಂಡಿತ ಸಾಯ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು 10th ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಜೋಕನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಜರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್, we find such compositions. So what you have to do? You should focus on speaking. ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೀಚು ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ we give importance to grammar. Grammar. How to correct our mistakes? See, why the student who has completed 10th standard has made these mistakes even after 5 years, 10 years of school. Why he has committed such mistakes? Because he is not aware of these mistakes. When teaching grammar lessons, the teachers emphasize the mistakes they are likely to make. They should teach some remedial grammar. The students have to concentrate on such a remedial classes. The mistakes they are likely to make. Most of the mistakes the students make because of the first difficulty is language interference. Language interference means, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಲರ್ನರ್ಸ್, ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತನಾಡುವಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ L1 ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್, ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್. So that you should take care of how the languages differ. For example, Kannada and English. Kannada medium students ಅಥವಾ ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಬೋತ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ವೇ ದೇ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್? ದೇರ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ದೇರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಗಿವ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್? How many sounds are there in English? When I say sounds, you should not get confused with the letters. English has 26 letters, but it does not mean 26 sounds. 26 letters, alphabetical letters, in 44 sounds now. See, why do we make mistakes? Even while speaking, while writing, we make mistakes because we fail to understand how the two languages differ from each other. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸು, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ ತರಹ. ಈ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅದನ್ನು L1 ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. L1 ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ 50 or 51 ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ 50 sounds, 50 letters. No confusion. But in English, confusion because while pronunciation, while pronouncing the words, we make mistakes. Is because we have 26 letters, 44 sounds. We can divide them into vowels and consonants. 20 vowels, 24 consonants. You can ask me, sir, how is it 26 letters give 44 sounds? Whereas in Kannada, 50 letters, 50 sounds. No confusion. For example, in Kannada, if I say ma and ra, they mean ma, ra, nothing else. Ma, and a letter bardre, adu mane, mere sound alve, ma, ma. Ra, ra. Letter and sound. There is one-to-one correspondence. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ. ಮಾ ಅದು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಮಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಾ ಅದು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ರಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಓದೋಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರೆಯೋಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್. ಸೌಂಡ್ಗೂ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಗೂ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. There is no one-to-one correspondence, means they don't match. For example, when I say A, the word letter A, it gives 3 to 4 sounds. Letter A, letter A, ಏನೇನು ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ? A ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಸೌಂಡ್, ಆ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. See that? ಮತ್ತೆ for example, see for example, when I say father, when I say father, look at the word father. This A letter gives a sound, a ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದೇ ಲೆಟರ್ A ಇನ್ನೊಂದು B-A-G, bag. But same letter A is giving sound, not bog, ಆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, bag, a ಅಂತ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ A ಸೌಂಡ್ A ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. See that? T-A-B-L-E, table, A sound ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. See, this is only an example to show how a single letter gives different sounds. A stands for A and A. Is not so in Kannada. Similarly, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು difficulty ಇದೆ. So, this is the stage where we are going to tell you all these things. High school classes ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು PU classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. So we give importance to speech and the difficulties we come across while speaking English language. English ಅನ್ನ ಮಾತನಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ difficulties ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಕಾರಣ? We teach you these sounds, ಈ 44 sounds ಯಾವುದು, ಅವುಗಳ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಹ PU classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. 44 sounds. This is called phonetics ಅಂತ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರು. Phonetics means science of sounds ಅಂತ. Science of sounds. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಅವುಗಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಅವುಗಳ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ವಿಥೌಟ್ knowing these sounds is very difficult for us to pronounce the words properly. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ, ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ರೆಫರ್ ದ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ. ಈವನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿನೂ ಸಹ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರ ಹೊರತು ಅದರ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ನೋಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ವರ್ಡ್ discrimination. Discrimination ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್, discrimination ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. When I ask you to find out the meaning of the word, you consult the dictionary. But you find the meaning, you cannot find out the pronunciation. Idra pronunciation anna phonetic scripts nalli kottirtare. Phonetic script andre sounds ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Sound symbols ಬೇರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ symbols ಅನ್ನೇ ನಾವು phonetic symbols ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Phonetic symbols. So ಈ 44 sounds ಅನ್ನ ಯಾರು ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ symbols ಅನ್ನ, they can easily identify the pronunciation. ಅಲ್ಲಿ pronunciation ಅನ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ phonetic symbols ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So we give importance to phonetics. Next, English is difficult because of this interference, first language interference. Also, there is another difficulty. See, the same letter gives different sounds. Take for example C. The letter C, it could be used as ka, C-A-T, cat, C-A-T, cat, C-I-R-C-L-E, circle. Look at this one, circle. Here, C gives the sound yes. The same sound. Same letter gives different sounds, ka and sa. So, in English, we have these irregularities. It may not appear to be very logical. ನಮಗೆ ಇದೇನು ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ irregularities ಇದೆ. So, you must be familiar with all these irregularities. Single letter different sounds ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, different sounds ಒಂದೇ sound ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. For example, ಅದೊಂದು example. I'll give an example for that. See, for example, ka. The sound ka. The sound ka can be given by C. C ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಹ ka sound ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. Cricket. Look at this. And then queen. Look at this word, queen. Letter ka sound can be represented by Q also. Q ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಹ ka sound ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, C ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಹ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ CK ಅಂತ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಸಹ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. So, I have given a few examples to show how English language have inherent irregularities, difficulties for a regional language speaker. Regional language speaker ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜ್ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಇದರ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸು. That's why you face some difficulty in mastering speech and spelling. Speech ಮತ್ತು spelling ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ when you are not aware of these lessons. So we will take care of all these things in PUC classes. PUC ನಲ್ಲಿ we have 2 books. Let me show the 2 books to you. This is course book. Course book means it has prose lessons, 7 prose lessons and 6 poems. This is for 50 marks. And you have language practice book. Title, look at the title, articulation. Articulation, English workbook. Here we have got number of exercises. Exercises to practice these skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing. So this is a practice book. This is textbook. So both are very important. 50 marks are set apart for this workbook also. Workbook meant for your practice. This workbook has, see, 5 sections, 5 important sections. A, B, C, D, E. A section deals with the language use, basic English grammar. The grammar we have already learnt. This is not something very new. This grammar has been taught in your high school classes, 8th, 9th, 10th. ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನೀವು ಕಲಿತಿರುವಂಥ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ನ ರಿವೈಸಿಂಗ್. We'll give some exercises and we try to practice and work out the exercises given in workbook. Workbook ಅಲ್ಲಿ exercises ಅನ್ನು work out ಮಾಡೋದು. First, articles, prepositions and then tenses, verbs, subject-verb agreement, word order, and then correction of sentences, question forms. In our regular class, when we meet face to face, we will work out these exercises. Next comes B, reading passages. So this is in our examination also, we have got 10 marks question. In your high school classes also, we have some reading comprehension exercises. Reading comprehension exercises. A passage will be given, unseen passage. You haven't seen that passage, a new passage. You must read the passage and answer the questions that follow. So that is called reading comprehension section. So some 10 to 12 passages have been given in this book. In addition to this, we will provide you some supplementary material. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬೇರೆ passages ಸಹ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. So reading practice, that is one of the skills, very important skills. Reading comprehension section. Next section is reference skills. That is how to use dictionary and how to use the source material. Suppose there is a magazine or a newspaper, how to make notes, how to collect information, sources of information, how to read tables, magazines, tables, graph tables, advertisements. So these are all reference skills. Next comes a D section, that is writing skills, letter writing. In letter writing we have got personal letters and then official letters. And then email writing, that is another part. Under writing skills we have these skills, and then dialogue writing is also there. Dialogue writing, conversations. And then unit E, next section is speaking skills. Very important one is speaking skills. Language functions, it's called language functions. Let me give you an example for language skills. These are very important aspects in workbook. A, B, C, D, E. It is divided into 5 sections. Language use, that is grammar, reading section, and then reference skill section, writing section, and then speaking section. As I said, in language classes, we will be practicing these skills every day. Language class does not mean just reading out a lesson and getting questions and answers and writing down the answers. Doesn't end with that formal teaching. Very lessons and question answer ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. We need to practice these skills every day. For example, for some time, for 10 to 15 minutes, we provide opportunity for language, spoken English. We provide opportunities to language, listening practice. For a few minutes, we provide opportunities to practice speech. For a few minutes, we provide a reading passage and ask you to answer the questions. That is reading skill session. At the end, we'll give some questions as an assignment, oral or written, and that will be another important skill we are going to practice. So each class is an integrated class. Means all the 4 skills we practice in this English class. I said language use is very important. In first PUC, what is the effective way of learning a language? English ಅನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಯೂಸ್. Language used for a variety of purposes. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. From morning till evening, we will be using language for a variety of purposes. Functions of language. Language is a purposeful activity. Ere mother. Speech is a purposeful activity. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. Language is a purposeful activity. ಹೌದಾ? ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರ್ತದೆ? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ವಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಈಚ್ ಅಟರೆನ್ಸ್, ಈಚ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಪಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯಾರನ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಾಯ್ ಗ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಹಲೋ, ಹೌ ಆರ್ ಯು, ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್. ಇಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಹೊಸ ಫ್ರೆಂಡನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೊಸ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ so and so. Introduction, or you are introducing your friend. My name is so and so. I come from such and such a place. My profession is this. So you are going to introduce. For introduction also we use the language. While take leave, intersect ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸೊ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಬ್ರಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೀವ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಲೀವ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಸಿ ಯು, ಓಕೆ, goodbye, such expressions. So for a variety of purposes, it could be greeting, introduction, leave taking, or thanking, requesting, complaining, congratulating, expressing sorry. So all these purposes in everyday life we have. For all the purposes we use language effectively. So our workbook has a variety of exercises that helps you to practice these functions of the language. Language functions anna practice ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು exercises ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ first PUC. So it's not going to be a difficult one. It's going to be very interesting, and your first year PUC will be very lively experience. So we'll be awaiting your admissions. We'll meet you in a face-to-face class and discuss all other aspects of English language. Okay? Thank you.